so Tyrell, I'll start with you. You're the returning two-time second-team All-American. Talk to me about your expectations for this season.
We gelling earlier this year. Everybody plays like more unselfish than last year, but I feel like this team is more athletic. We try to defend even harder, so I feel like we can go all the way.
And Davon, you're coming back for your sophomore season after a really nice freshman season where you were sixth man of the year, helping the team to the national tournament. So, how are you feeling? Going into your first full season where you've already had some college experience.
I'm pretty excited. I'm honestly ready to just get ready to go in with these guys, playing games, and just keep building team chemistry right now.
So it's been kind of a unique beginning to the season, off season, and even end to last season. So talk to me about the challenges, both of you. Talk to me about the challenges that have went into mentally and physically preparing for this season, and all the precautions and all the safety measures that you guys have taken as a team, in order for this season to go smoothly.
Go first, bro.
I'd say one of the biggest struggles may have been with COVID was not having as much access to gyms like we really went to. So over summer, I felt like that was an impact on a lot of us as players on how productive our summer was. So I feel like that's just been one of the biggest issues.
But me, on the other hand, it was harder because there was no gyms, basically. So you had to motivate yourself. So coach set up a group chat where we send Nike apps and we do exercises in the house, and then he made us run 2 miles a day, or at least a mile and a half every day to build. For now, we started doing sand workouts and all of that. So I feel like I had a good summer. Might not have been doing as much skill work, but body-wise, my body feels good. So.
And to start the season, obviously the college is putting the safety of the coaches and the players and everybody involved first. And how nice has that been to be able to practice, but also be able to take the precautions to hopefully come out of this pandemic on the better side and have the season run smoothly with no interruptions.
I think it's been great. Obviously, that was a big issue or concern coming into the season was how could we properly do this, and I feel like the coaching staff here has been doing a good job with that.
I mean, being able to practice is like now it feels like a gift because not being able to get in the gym sucks. It's like you just sitting in the house now, you bored, you eating all day, and you're not getting no work in. So like the first 2 weeks when we got in the gym, people was all rusty, losing the ball, no handle, no nothing. And then now we come to practice, you could do the old stuff you used to do and actually feel good.
You kind of move on from the COVID stuff now. Let's get back into on the court. This is primarily almost a whole new squad for you guys. You two returners and two more coming back from last season. So you have 14 new players on this roster from all over the country. Talk to me about this preseason, how it's been. How do you think practice is going? Any sort of thoughts as we wind down here pretty close to the start of the season?
For me this season, I just like to say I like the group of guys that I'm with. Personality-wise, individually, I feel like everybody has their own unique personality. They bring different things to the table, so I'm just liking how all that's coming along right now.
Mine is from the beginning, as soon as I met the team and stuff, I wanted to be like a leader. So last year I wasn't that vocal. I would talk and stuff, but it wasn't as much as I am now. I walk players through the plays. If they don't know it, they ask me anything. And when I'm getting taught, I tell them to pay attention because if coach telling me something, I can relate it to you guys.
So you kind of touched on my next point about being a leader. This is your third year with the program. You are a two-time second-team All-American. What do you want to take? What do you want to do to take that next step in your game? Not only individually, but can help the team. Because I feel like you're on the cusp of really having a tremendous breakout season for this, for the squad, and you're kind of a household name in the USCAA right now.
Well, I just want to keep working hard. I come into practice, my practice effort from last year and this year is totally different. I'm in there high energy. I'm working hard every day, working on my jump shot, working on mid-ranges, working on the defensive sides. And if I do mess up, as soon as Moan tell me something, I just look at him, yes, sir, keep it moving. And that's what I want to do, because if I do that, then my teammates will follow.
So you think you see yourself more as a lead by example type leader? Do you see yourself as a vocal leader? You talked about you being more vocal this year. But do you see yourself as a good mix, or what type of leader do you see yourself as?
I'm a mixture of both, because being the type of person I am, I'm kind of like an alpha. I want to call shots like that, but Coach Moan is an alpha too, so we can't bump heads. So if he's saying something, I'm going to listen. Because if I start talking back and yelling and doing all that, then another teammate go, well, he can do it, so I can do it. And that's not what I want. So if you tell me to do something, I just do it. Do all the drills, like game reps, and become vocal more. Like teaching players.
Davon, even though you're young, you did get a lot of experience last year. Pretty much the first guy off the bench, pretty much every game that we played last year. So, talk to me about the leaps that you want to take this year as a player that you can really help. How you can really help this team.
For me, I've always been big on energy. I feel like that's what I've brought to any team I've ever played on. So personally, I just want to build upon what I did last year and do it better this year, and understanding that I need to be a little more vocal and lead in that way. Usually I prefer to lead by example. I don't like to talk much, just do the work, and hopefully that inspires others to do the same as me. So I just want to become more vocal and just be a better overall leader for my team.
This one kind of for both of you, but talk to me a little bit about maybe some of the guys that have stood out to you so far in practice. We're less than 2 weeks away from the first game. So maybe who stood out in practice to you? Who has really shown you that they can be a big contributor for this team, because there's obviously a lot of talent.
I like Bowie. Sam that's my guy. If I'm not scoring or something, and he know his shots that I could have took and stuff like that, he really, Rail, shoot the ball, do this, do that. And he's a great scorer. And he's a big who can shoot it. Like, it's not like a big who just makes shots. He can consistently shoot. So by him stretching the floor out, opens the floor for everybody else. Because then they have nobody to protect the rim if they got to guard him.
And Davon, is there anyone that's kind of stood out to you so far?
Who's really stood out for me is Eric. I feel like he was a great addition with his athleticism, and he could just bring energy for us as well with making those type of plays for us. So
yeah. And kind of lastly, what type of style do you guys want to implement this year? You averaged in the high 80s last year for points, but weren't necessarily able to come out on the right end of some of those high-scoring games. So what do you need to shore up defensively, and then what do you need to do better offensively to kind of mesh those two? Because the talent's obviously there this year, but what do you need to do to improve upon maybe those close games last year that you let slip away? What needs to change this year?
Trust your teammates more. You got to trust that your other teammate's going to be in the help side in the position they're supposed to be, just in case you get beat. Just like if they get beat, you should be in a certain position. And if everybody communicates well, the defense will be on the string. So once one person moves, everybody moves. And that's how it has to be to be a better defensive team and win more games.
Defensively, I feel like communication is going to be a big thing for us, but also pride. That's one of the 7 words that Coach Brown gave us this season, and I feel like when you have pride in your work, then you'll have the outcome and success that you want.
And lastly, what's going to be different this season? At the end of April, or the beginning of April, end of March, what's going to be different that hopefully allows you guys to win that final game of the season at the national tournament?
The will to win. Like, our team fights. Like, if in practice, if black team down 11, game's still not over. If gray team down 11, game's still not over. It's when we come together. But when you get to being like, 2 people on the same page, 3 on the other, that's where it becomes bad. But by us being vocal in practice and being persistent about it, it's going to help in the end. So if you keep doing something a certain way, it's going to end up paying out.